Now, if that doesn't say digital strategy to me, I don't know what does. Here is a world that we're creating through all these different channels, giving our audiences different entry points into this world, and every entry point that they find, they get a different understanding of what it is that we're doing. Okay? A really critical one there, a different understanding. Because I know a lot of us were pressured for time, put something on Facebook, and let's just tweet it, and let's post about it over here and here, and it's the same content in each channel. Okay? But if you have really engaged audiences who are really into what you're doing, they're just going to see the same piece of content 5 times. All right? So different things, they're just different spins, slight shifts, different ways into it. Not necessarily different content as such. Anyway, that's a breakout. So what we're going to do is look at this sort of concept in 4 stages. It's just to develop a digital strategy, looking at the story of your organization's life. We're going to borrow the concepts of transmedia from the screen world. And we're going to document this in a Bible. I am an atheist, so I don't mean Bible in the real sense. But I want you to keep that idea in mind. Because what is the Bible? Now, this is something that it might seem like a bit of a nuance of difference, but it's actually quite interesting. Because every transmedia project begins with this idea of the Bible, where whoever is guiding the project sits down and basically writes the rules. Says, this is what we're going to do, this is who we're talking to, this is how we're going to do it. Okay, and it's not a 65-page dry document about data, interrogation, blah, blah. Okay, now I know we all, some of us, not all of us, but some of us have to write extremely long and dry marketing strategies. The idea of a Bible is creating something really accessible that everybody in the organization can get a handle on. So if you imagine, whether it's from box office to finance or whoever, that you can say to them, this is what we're doing, okay, in our kind of digital world. Why don't you check it out and have a read of it? So it's something that's written in very kind of simple terms that you can follow, but more importantly, that you can share the ownership with, okay? Because the biggest problem, or one of the big problems that we face, is we've got all these fab ideas about what we can do digitally, but we don't have money, we don't have resources. We need to sell this idea upstairs. And of course, the first part of selling that is to say, well, I've thought about the concept, I've thought about the execution, and I'm going to present it to you in a way that's actually interesting and meaningful, that isn't 67 pages, okay? Because managers are time poor as well. They don't have time to read 67 pages. They just want to read something that says, yep, I get it. So over the next 30 minutes, we're going to go through these 9 areas, okay? These 9 questions, which is looking at it in sort of stage by stage, all right? So what are our objectives? Why are we here? What are we doing? Who is our audience? What do they need? What's your story? Who's telling it? How are you going to engage? What channels are we going to use? What content do we need? What's your budget? How much time do you have, and how do you measure it? Now, for those of you who've prepared marketing strategies before in any kind of great depth, a lot of this is familiar, okay? Because this process is actually, when people say, I need a digital strategy, I've got a marketing